Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Sex Talk with T. Gray right here on WEMS Radio. I am your host, T. Gray, and we tonight, you guys, are going to have a fantastic time like every other Tuesday. It is Tip Jar Tuesday. I need y'all to get y'all money ready, and I don't want that paper that sink. I want it to float on me. Start getting your dollars, studying in the fives and tens. I want you to make it rain on your girl tonight because we're talking about the financial aspect of sex. We're talking about that correlation between sex and money. And I know a lot of you all are saying, well, T, one shouldn't have nothing to do with the other. But unfortunately, it does. And I have one of the best financial minds in the U.S. to kind of help bring these things to light. The business bully, Dave Anderson, you guys, has gone from making nothing to making major something. He builds businesses and he can definitely take you to a new level. So who better to talk about how money can flow with sex? We're going to have a good time tonight. Make sure you tip your girl well, $ T Gray. But let's bring my guest on in here. This man makes money in multiple countries, you guys. He's like the Freddie Tiffany of this thing. He's internationally known. Dave Anderson, the business bully. What's up, Dave?
What's going on? How are you? How's everything?
I'm good. Y'all, Dave brought that know-how and he brought that shape up. You guys already know. Y'all already know how T Gray felt about a nice shape up on here. Hey,
what's going on with you? How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Sex Talk with T Gray. I thought it was so apropos to bring you on to talk about this money thing because so many people overlook the influence on money and their sex lives, the lack thereof, or the overwhelming amount thereof. Do you believe that there is a true correlation between sex and, I guess, the amount that you get?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, let me tell you something. I had a preacher, I'll never forget this, a guy named Joseph Walker, who runs Mount Zion, Nashville, Tennessee. And he said, the thing about human beings is that men are primarily attracted to physical, women are primarily attracted to financial. And as long as you understand who's doing what and why, you shouldn't have any problems. And so to act as if money doesn't play a role in how you feel about something, listen, all you got to do is go to All-Star.
Like, I mean, that's just what it is. Everything you need to know.
Listen, I think it's ridiculous to act as if people aren't the way that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like every day you see a booger wolf looking Harry and the Hendersons type of Sasquatch looking dude with a super fine woman. And good and hell well, he got money. Not everybody is blessed to be this handsome and charming as I am, but there are people out here who have to rely on their money. Listen, I pulled them broke, I've pulled them rich.
This is what I love to know, because a lot of people that I have on, a lot of conversation that I have, when other men talk about broke dudes, they're like, broke dudes, they put it in the bedroom. Broke dudes, they turning women out and they're doing all this because they got to have somewhere to stay or because they're looking for their next meal. Do you think that if you have a certain amount of affluence that you don't put it down in the bedroom, or is that rules to be lazy?
I'm sorry, it's something. Yeah, no, I can't speak to that because let me tell you something. I treat everything like a surprise fight.
All right, now.
Let me tell you something. I treat it like a surprise fight. Look, I'm going for the gusto.
I'm gonna knock it out like fight night.
Hit them with the left. Hit them with the right. Listen. So I think that some people, if their whole thing is just about themselves and they're selfish individuals, everything kind of, how a woman will say a man's rhythm on the dance floor can dictate what his rhythm in the bedroom is. I feel like a man's motive in life is going to be his motive in the bedroom. So if you're you're the type of person that you just want to do this because you want attention, or you got overlooked in high school and you ain't never sat on nobody's couch, and that's what you're going to get. But yeah, I think that there are people who obviously, because they can't conjugate a verb, they can't read, they've got a criminal record longer than a CVS receipt. Probably all they can do, is sling their wang. So, okay, but you get with that what you get with that. But don't come hollering at me talking about you're a strong, independent woman when you done laid up with Lamondre and had 13 babies. Those are choices.
Those are choices, you guys. That's the key point. So, what I think is interesting is that a lot of people negate the fact that money has something to do with sex, or they may feel, okay, because I'm married, that didn't play a part at no point. But in marriage, I feel like there's still an expectation for you to live up to a certain sexual standard, whatever you agreed upon. And then there's an expectation that you live up to a certain comfortability standard. Like if this mortgage is paid and these car notes and these cell phones and these trips are paid, then, you can have this any day you want. And on Sunday, I'm going to do it to you twice. And every Monday morning, you're going to get your dick. So like, I feel like there's always an unspoken connection between sex and money.
I think that is true, but we're not just going to gloss over what you said. And so only on Mondays you get the awesome Johnson?
No, some people live like that.
I don't know them people.
Brave, but some people live like that. Some are on a scheduled situation. Some people are, especially in marriages. Some people get to a point where you might have been total stone cold freak on your way to getting a person, and then after you get them, now here's this change, or you want to blame it on the kids, or you want to blame it on work, whatever the case may be. But then here's this change, and then now the sex is now dictated or scheduled.
Dictated. Yeah, I think that it's listen. The law of attraction says what you focus on is what you get. Mm-hmm. If you're focused on trying to have a healthy sexual life in your marriage, then you will. If you're not, then you won't. It's that simple. On top of that, I think that if you want to keep your situation spicy, you keep your situation spicy. A lot of times, and I've said this to countless sisters, that we need to stop treating marriages like relationships and relationships like marriages. Mm-hmm. I done gave my all to Pookie and Lamondre, Earl, and Craig, and now that Johnny Good Guy, who I passed up in high school, in college, after grad school, at the job because he was too nice, is now available, and now you done been in Afghanistan, which means you've been bombed out and depleted. Now all of a sudden you want to start rationing. No, I need you to go ahead and start popping on the handstand. I need the monkey double backflips popping off immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah.
First off, if I ever see somebody doing a monkey double backflip on me, you can have all my money.
And just for the record, how much money is that exactly?
Listen, do the monkey double backflip and you will find out.
Listen.
What? I need somebody performing some tricks around here, you guys. I'm trying to tell you.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
So, in the grand scheme of being able to attain the sex, there's always a monetary value attached to it. People date. Sometimes people don't date. Sometimes people just buy and drink. Sometimes there's a cost, you know what I mean, in attaining that. What do you think, or how do people start to plan a fair budget to being able to successfully date? Or what do you think a good budget is to successfully get the draw?
Okay, couple of quick things I want to address. Mm-hmm. The first is, no matter what you're doing, you paying for it one way or the other. Like, so that's the first thing I gotta say. Even if you're just paying for Uber ride and some condoms, you're paying for it. Secondly, I'm gonna need somebody to sit, and I'm not the guy to deliver the message, but I will say what I think needs to be said from sisters to other sisters. Mm-hmm. There are approximately 4.35 billion vaginas on the planet. If that's your bargaining chip, you don't have much to bring to the table, right? I'm gonna need you to come with some enhancement energy. I'm gonna need you to come with some growth energy. I'm gonna need you to come with something else. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's such a big thing for me, you know, to make sure that we have an honest conversation about what it takes to keep the fires burning. You dig? The other part of that is I don't like being stressed, right? And nothing stresses me more than the lack of resources. So I make sure I have resources. That's that. Because when people aren't stressed, then they're more open to do what I call country crocking. Shed your clothes and spread your legs and get the butter popping. You feel me? So yeah.
Shed your clothes.
And spread your legs.
Yes.
Yeah, shed, spreads, country crock. Get that butter popping.
Somebody needs to put that shit on a shirt.
Okay? Listen. Half the shit that comes out of my mouth needs to be on a shirt. I'm
trying to tell you, you guys. Every 5 minutes you're dropping something. I was like, let me just jot this.
I'll write that down. All right, here taking copious notes. Where are you located?
You don't even understand. Look at my book. Look at my book.
Where you located?
I'm in the DC area.
Okay, all right. Okay, DMV.
Yeah, I'm in the DMV. Yeah.
All right. I hear you.
Yeah, but I'm stealing that. I'm saying it right here loud so don't nobody
spread your clothes and spread your legs. I'm looking for the butter babies.
I told him to his face, I'm stealing that. That's so interesting because I feel like nobody thinks along those lines where I think preparedness is super important when it comes to these things. And you're saying, hey, I don't want to be stressed, so let me tackle these resources. I think those things sometimes are overlooked when you have a certain mission in mind. And that could be whether your mission is the sex or if your mission is the money, or your mission is whatever the case may be. There definitely has to be a level of preparedness that makes every experience, I think, so much better. So
it's important, you know, and I think that, you know, if we're going to have honest conversations, we got to start with that part of it. Now, as a man, I don't mind being a provider. I don't mind being a resource. I don't mind being the connector. I don't mind being the plug. Like, I feel like that's a man's job. However, I got to go to war with society's perception of me as a straight black man. Right? I got to go to war with white people. I got to go to war with the media. When I come home, I don't want to go to war with you. Because if I got to go to war with you, you can go. That's that. And a lot of times, you know, like you got these people out here saying, be his peace. No. Just don't bring your bullshit and create chaos into my peaceful environment. Listen. I'm Aladdin in this bitch. I got magic carpets. I got genies. I got $1 million belt. Like, I got shit.
Right.
What I don't need is for you to come in here and start talking about, well, we need to do this. So, were you scrubbing my nuts in the gas station sink when I was homeless? No. Listen, and I believe that. I think a lot of times, women are so programmed to deal with beta males, they don't understand what manhood looks like when it shows up.
Okay, so let's talk about that then.
All right, let's talk about
what manhood really looks like.
Okay, here it is. I call the shots. I provide. I do what I need to do. The other part of that is I don't want to hear nothing about my socks on the floor. I don't want to. I'm not here for the complaints. I'm just the complaint train will leave without me every time it pulls out the station. Right? Because if I'm checking all your boxes, you should have nothing significant to complain about. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh shit, babe, that sucks. Other than that, come on, man, stop. Complain give me the same energy you gave Lamondre when you let Lamondre play Xbox for days on end, or go out with his boys to the club and leave your ass at home lonely, wondering what the hell he was doing. Give me the energy you gave Lamondre, who wasn't shit. Because when these shit shows
Lamondre been fucking up this whole show. Like, I don't know Lamondre, but nigga, wherever you at, your ass been showing off for 15 minutes.
Listen, there's not a black woman in America who don't know a Lamondre or a Lamondre type character. He's an archetype. He's not a real person. Right. But everybody knows a Lamondre. Whether they choose to admit it is a completely different matter. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, but I find that a lot of times we make really smart decisions in our business. We make really smart decisions in our education. I got a master's degree. Nobody cares. And when it comes to choosing a mate and being responsible as to who we give our energy to physically, somehow that's lacking.
Okay. You're right. So let's go a little bit deeper. Because we're talking about sex, you guys. What does this real man, this manhood look like in the bedroom?
Listen, if I need you to show me the way, that's not what it is. Like, I feel like there's a period, like when you get down, you're feeling each other out, but it's like a dance. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then after a while, you know, you begin to learn and say, okay, I got a sound out of that. I got out of that. You know, I got okay. So now I know that works. You know, women, you know, are not one size fits all. You feel me? So, you know, you got to figure out, like, every woman's got their own particular code and sequence. It's like Mission Impossible. You just got to hit the right buttons in the right spots, and you know. But you should want to be soft in the bedroom. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, you know, pull out the whips, chains, handcuffs. But if a man ain't fit to lead in the finances, if he ain't fit to lead in the household, if he ain't fit to lead in the bedroom, then you don't have a man. You have a man boy.
Ooh, you guys. So you hit on something right there. I think that's a very important piece. Because when it comes to men and women, and tonight, you guys, I don't want anybody to get offended, but I'm gonna deal just kind of in the heterosexual realm. When it comes to men and women, having the conversations about money, about finances, things of that nature, when outside the bedroom, if you're not being led down the correct path, or if the money is an issue, or if bills aren't being paid, or if you see that there's a lack in the leadership when it comes to the finances, it definitely transfers over to the bedroom. There's a level of mistrust there. There's a difference in our intimacy now, because if I can't trust you to lead the household in a certain way, then it calls into, and it maybe some men might feel like those two things shouldn't connect, but for women, they definitely do. I don't trust you the same in the bedroom if the money's out of order outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
You think that's fair or unfair?
It depends on the circumstance. You know, like there were plenty of people when I was at my low point who completely, there was and for me, I wasn't really focused on it, but there were people who passed me up, overlooked me, that type of thing. And I'm sure that those women are living with regret. Mm-hmm. You know, so sometimes if somebody's potential is there and they're doing everything they can to realize it, then that's somebody you support. Right? If somebody's potential is there and they're wasting it on an Xbox or hanging with their boys, you know, having a blunt rolling contest in the middle of your living room while you going back and forth to 9 to 5, they're dropping you off in your car and they take your car and going anywhere but
that baby boy lifestyle.
Listen.
But you know what? It's so crazy. Some women love that. I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
I don't get it. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, to me, and I'm just I'm straight up with my audience. Ain't no dick that good, y'all. Ain't no dick that good. And I've had fantastic in my life, just fantastic, but not so fantastic and not so amazing that you fit to take my car, you about to sit on this couch, and you just not gonna do nothing. Like, no, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't turn me on. There's nothing about that says, oh, let me give him. No, I don't want to give you nothing but this door, sir. Have a nice day.
Well, a couple of things here. One, I disagree because I think you do know. It's just that it's something you have learned not to tolerate over the years. right? So here's my point. There are a bunch of the adult females. Those are different than women. There are a bunch of adult females out here who believe in what I call the physical science project, which is, oh, I can change him. I can mold him into whatever I need him to be. And and I'm gonna give him love and loyalty. He didn't have it coming up, so I'm gonna be everything that he never had.
Shut your bitch ass up.
And that's what it comes down to. Like once you start realizing that it's not your job to turn this man into something he is never going to be. Like men don't change. Like a woman doesn't change a man, but a man will change for the right woman.
Yes.
And I think that that's what it comes down to. I think sometimes people like that excitement of, I made him, I cleaned him up. Look at my man now. Like that don't happen very often. It don't. And the second we realize that that's the case is the second we need to start doing some different things. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Most definitely. So when it comes to you, we're going to get into your business for just a little bit.
Sure enough.
Because you went from being homeless to building yourself to just an amazing position in life. Not only do you own your own businesses, but you build everyone else's business. You know what I mean? You're a solid name when it comes to business. You're a trustworthy name. People look to you to really guide them. There's so much in your background and so much I feel like people need to know. Just going, there's just so much there. We can't talk about it today, though. We can't talk about it today. Like I feel like I have several platforms, and I really want to bring you on another one to really dive into the financial aspect and the things that you're able to do with Forbes and being in Black enterprise. Like you're amazing. But just get into that point of being amazing, and growing your money, growing your finances. Has it ever been a negative influence when it comes to the women as you began to get on that path? Has the money been a hindrance to the women, or have the women done way too much for the money?
Well, I'm married, so the good news is a lot of.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that were you married the entire time?
No. No. Wow. Okay. So when I wound up homeless, I was with another woman, and that woman was a complete absolute piece of shit. Okay. And that's my fault because I chose her. But you
life together.
Like you live and you learn, and then you get loves. I think that you find what you're looking for on the road you take to avoid it. And I think for me, it's been a situation where I've been in entertainment since I was 9 years old, so I am pretty good at spotting who's a groupie, who's really about that life, who's there to see what they can get, but every once in a while somebody will slip through the cracks. Some people are like, we always talk about dudes got game. Don't nobody got more game than a woman.
Very true.
Nobody. Like y'all plot in such a way that nobody believes you cheat, but 80% of the divorces in this country are filed by women. The majority of the adulterous affairs are initiated by women in marriage. So something's wrong with the perception versus the reality. But for me, I have looked at the situations and I realized that I'm good, being who I am. And I think that, just like women are going to try it. Oh, girl, he got money. Look, stop. Like, what are you going to like? There's nothing you can impress me with. It's not like been there, done that. Like.
What do you think of the men who lead with that?
Who lead with that?
Yes.
Well, if they don't have anything else, what makes them any different than the men who lead with dick?
I'm glad you said that, because I really want for women and men to start taking accountability when it comes to these things. I was leaving out of Baltimore Comedy Factory, and this is post-pandemic. This wasn't that long ago. And I was sitting in the parking lot, And you hear ruckus. I looked. I'm nosy. I wanted to see what's going on. And it's two women in a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man outside the driver's side, almost pleading with the woman because he wants her number. He wants to take her out. She's vehemently denying this guy. She's not interested. She wants to pull off.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls off. He's talking to his homeboy. Why she don't want me? She don't even know where she left. I got this and I got that and da 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 da. And he's going on this whole resume of things he got, money he got. She don't know what. I kindly roll my window down because T. Gray likes to get involved as well as be nosy.
Uh-oh.
And I said, sir, there was nothing about you that woman found attractive. You got to be okay with that. And if your money and your list of shit you just named make you feel better, then go roll around in it, sir. I said, but acting up in the parking lot is not becoming of a man who say they got all that you got. And his homeboy, I think I shocked him, one, because I said something, and because I said it calmly. His homeboy was about to be like, and he was like, she right. You need to come and calm the dude down. But it's so many times that I see men leading with the money. And I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to get exactly what you pay for. That's how
Well, here's the thing, right? I had a good friend named James Hanna, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not unlike myself, James was a comedian, and James would always say that men do what get them laid. So if women all got together and says, you know what, from here on out, we want a pirate motif. We ain't messing with no dudes that ain't got that pirate motif. You would see a bunch of people out here with frilly shirts, a peg leg, and a parrot that says, probably want a cracker, because we do what works. Women have been raised, in most cases, because someone's going to say, well, no, shut up. In most cases, to talk about, look, ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a J-O-B. Come on, man. Yeah. The whole song. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride trying to holler at me. Did you ever stop to think, you raggedy piece of you know what, that maybe he was carpooling because it didn't make sense for 6 dudes to have 6 separate cars when we all go into the same place and we all know what we're going there for? Somebody every once in a while is going to be the designated driver. Did that dawn on you? But automatically you're judging us and saying that's a financial statement to be sitting in the passenger side of the car as if we don't have our own because you didn't take enough time to investigate. So don't lead with a guy gotta have this and a guy gotta have that, or well, he plays ball, or he works at a Fortune 500 company, or he's an independently wealthy entrepreneur, and so now that becomes the gold standard. And then when I go out here and get these things that matter more to you than looks and act like they don't, is absolutely hypocritical and ridiculous to act as if they don't and then be mad when a dude is like, but I went out here and I got this and I got that and I got this and you don't know what you're missing. That's because that's what he's already heard. And what you're dealing with is not his frustration in that moment with that one woman. It is the straw that broke the camel's back, that he went out here, he jumped through all your ridiculous hoops, he reached for every last one of your stupid ass brass rings. And it still did not get him what he thought he was going to get by doing all the things that you as a society of women have required for him to do. That's what happened in that moment in that parking lot. It wasn't about that one woman. It's about what he's heard his entire life from his grandparents, his grandmama, his aunties, his cousins, every woman from the time he was in kindergarten all the way through if he got to college. That's just what it is. So don't be mad at the monster ripping through the village after you created it, Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein. That's what we are, ladies. We out here creating monsters.
Well,
meanwhile, men be out here creating monsters like a motherfucker too. Because I feel like I see you get close to the mic. Was you about to say something?
I just want to hear how we're creating the monsters when we listen. Here's the thing: if you thought I was attractive, right? I'm not going to HR and reporting you for sexual harassment if I don't feel the same way about you. You do that.
Harassment only occurs when it's unwanted.
Yeah, no, when the guy is ugly.
That's the same thing as unwanted.
No, it's not. Like everything that like there's what part of this, what do we do to create monsters? I'm fascinated by this.
Because a lot of times when like the men who do leave with the money, you do put women sometimes in a position to think that this is all that they have to do. I only gotta have these boobs, this butt, and you're just gonna pay for everything, and this is just what my standard is, and this is just what's supposed to happen going forward. So I had my producer to pull up a clip because I want us to kind of dissect this a little bit when it comes to financial responsibility, when it comes to people putting their partner or partners in a certain type of position or a certain type of lifestyle, and then the accountability that comes with that once those things end. So I'm going to have him to play that clip and we're going to get into it.
All right.
I had a guy get me a Benz before and put me in a loft space and, you know, set my whole life up differently than what it was normally. And I feel like if you brought me to like this level, and then we didn't work out, but we're still friends, you know, we didn't have beef and no one cheated. It was just didn't work out. But I still, I wasn't going to move from my space because it didn't work out. I wasn't going to give him back my car because I'm not going to downgrade my lifestyle because me and you are no longer together. And I just feel like if you put me in this space and that was under your budget then, what's the difference now? You know what I mean?
You were my girlfriend. I was fucking you.
Yeah, but I was fucking
you.
But I personally feel like, no, I'm not moving.
But see, what he did was this, though. He gave you the upgrade, but part of that upgrade is because you're with me.
Yeah.
You understand? So let me just go, though. So we didn't work out, me and you dating. You feel me? So I'm supposed to keep paying your loft and keep paying your Benz. Now, I get it, Jazz.
No, it's just I'm not moving. Yeah, unless you want me to fake be with you to keep my shit, then let's just be friends, and it didn't work, and that's that. But you got to continue to, you know, your credit is going to get messed up. I don't know.
But he continued paying it.
He did continue. He's
still paying it.
Yeah.
And you with another dude.
Yeah.
So I know you heard, and for you guys who haven't seen that, there was a clip of a show of another clip of another person. Whole lot happening right there. But that young lady's stance is, this is the lifestyle that you've grown me to be accustomed to as your girlfriend. I'm not giving up that lifestyle. And not only did that man continue to pay for that lifestyle, she then also had another man to move in. So now he's paying for you and your boyfriend. So Ashley Jefferson said that's ghetto, which it is, but how wrong is she if the man is paying the money?
100%. See, let me break this down in terms that even the most basic ass woman can understand. Mm-hmm. When you go to T-Mobile or Verizon or AT&T or wherever you choose to get your phone, Metro, I don't know who your phone plan is through, and I don't care. However, when you get that phone, in order for you to use that phone, you have to agree to what are called the terms and conditions, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, if you go back, and I want y'all to go back and run this tape back, run the tape back, where I said that you need to stop treating relationships like marriages and marriages like relationships.
Yes.
I am not. When I was single, I would not be buying no heifer, no car. I'm not going to be putting you up nowhere. Like, no. That's point number one. Point number two, her extra average ass, and yeah, I said her extra average ass with that I Dream of Jeannie Barbie hair doll ponytail she was wearing, right? She's had a bunch of people gas her head up because she's either Hispanic or uber light skinned, and somehow people think that that's hot. She's extra average at best, and I'm being generous by saying that, right? Mm-hmm. She thinks she is entitled to something after, like, he was doing that because he was knocking your back out. He was doing that because he thought he was building a future with you, and you proved him wrong because you are basic. You probably can't hold a conversation. You obviously can't conjugate a verb because you're sitting around here with diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain. Therefore, you think that somebody is entitled or is beholden to getting you what you've grown accustomed to. Well, he's grown accustomed to that ass.
Yeah.
He's grown accustomed to morning dome. He's grown accustomed to breakfast. He's grown accustomed to, you diddling his nuts. And until such time as you're willing to do the things that he's grown accustomed to, then we can have a conversation. Well, then I could fake be with you. You are the living proof. Women like that are living proof that more mothers should swallow. Why are you clutching your invisible pearls?
I don't have no sound.
Because you know I'm not wrong.
I don't have no sound effects, Dave. Look, I ain't had no.
Listen.
Swallow them kids, goddammit.
There's nobody who should think that behavior is acceptable. I can damn sure tell you straight up and down that girl either had the shittiest father in the world or no father at all. And she probably has a pathetic mother. And see, when people get mad when Kevin Samuels says these are the type of women who die alone, right? Just because you came up on a simp, you don't bring that energy to me, because I'm gonna look at you like you crazy. I'm not fucking Babyface. Won't pay your rent, won't wash your clothes, ain't cooking you shit neither. Bitch, cause I ain't gotta work. So the thing of it is, some of you remember, run the tape back. I said some of y'all have turned your vaginas into bargaining chips, and that's what she did. And she came up off a simp who decided to sit up here and think that is correct. And no, and he's a problem for letting himself be a simp. And she's an idiot for thinking that is the standard. Because I'm gonna tell you, every millionaire and billionaire I know ain't doing that dumb shit.
So let's get into that part. Let's get into the millionaires and the billionaires. First things first, you guys, we are here at Sex Talk with T. Graye on WEMS Radio. I have the business bully, Dave Anderson. We talking finances, we talking sex, and we having a damn good time. When you have that mega money, when you have millions, billions, I feel like you're then open to, or at least have access to, different levels of sex or sexual what's a good word to use? People just out here. Yes. Yes, experiences. People are out here doing different things. Some things that under 100,000, you just don't have that kind of access. You just don't. Under $1 million, you just don't have that kind of access. But once you begin to have a certain amount of money, you have access to whatever you could ever possibly want sexually, and you have experiences, especially in Hollywood, that aren't status quo, aren't no more considered taboo. Do you think once you get that money and you start having those experiences that it then makes that person kind of numb to the sex? Do you think having everything that you want all the time right there at your fingertips kind of changes the experience at some point?
I'm sorry, I can't understand anything you're talking about. Simply because I've always been in control of myself. If I want something, I'm gonna get it. If I don't, I won't. And that's how I feel about that. The problem is too many of y'all are talking about six-figure earners when the average person is only earning about $47,000 a year if he's lucky. Right? So y'all got all these standards, and your bitch ass is a high school guidance counselor. Knock your shit off right now. On top of that, we need to have a real conversation about the fact that I can do whatever I want whenever I want. I have options. That's all money is. Money is a coupon for options, right? Whether I choose to exercise those options is a completely different ball game, right? And what you see happening out here, you got people who didn't have any home training, who didn't get the discretion talk, who didn't know how real people do it. There's a bunch of people right now that I could name that I won't, who make sure that certain things, if they want to make certain things happen, then they'll have certain agreements. Like there's this episode of Chappelle Show, I'll never forget it, where they have the love contract. Basically what that is a non-disclosure, right? You sign a non-disclosure, then all bets are off. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of relationships like that. And then you wonder why the escort business is so good. It's because, one, nobody has to deal with the mouth. Nobody has to deal with the responsibilities. We ain't cleaning up nobody else's mess, any of that type of stuff. I'm not an escort dude myself, but I understand the simplicity of it and the lack of nonsensical bullshit that comes with it, because what happens is you want us to turn in. Not only do we have to give you good dick, not only do we have to prioritize you, not only do we have to provide for you, but now all of a sudden we got to become Iyanla fucking Van Zandt and her shit just got canceled. We're not here to fix your life. You should be doing that, right? And then the thing of it is, you want to come after high income earners when you don't even know what it is to earn a high income. Maybe step your level up. Maybe read a book or two. Maybe learn a different language. Maybe be in a position to educate somebody on something that they didn't already know. Like my children will tell you, it is very hard to shop for me because if I see something, I'm just go get it. So you got to get creative. You got to start thinking about, well, what is it that this person doesn't have that I can bring to the table? How can I complement this person? Because there's a bunch, and then let me tell you something. A lot of you ne'er-do-well Negroes running around here calling yourselves high-value men, and you're still saying the six magical words that prove you're not. Do you want fries with that? So calm that shit the fuck down too, right? Most people who have it aren't running around here talking about it. Like, pull it up. You'll hear me talk about how much money I made my clients, but you'll never even ever hear me remotely talk about how much money I have or don't have.
That is very true.
It's implied. I was raised right. It's like you know what it is. I mean, common sense. Certain things are common sense. You know, if a guy's walking around here with a $200 haircut, $1,500 sneakers on his feet, obviously he got something. We don't need to get into that. That's weak. That's beta shit. But the thing of it is, a lot of y'all think that because you got tits and ass and a cute little face, which was usually put on by Mac or whatever Rihanna's makeup line is. Or the Kylie Jenner shit, or I don't know what the fuck y'all using. I don't know. And putting on this drag queen contour, but we take that off. Listen, being cute, it'll get you in the door. What you can bring to the table determines how long you stay there and whether you just get put on, you get put in the starting lineup, or if you get put to the bench, or if you get traded down to dumped down to the D leagues. Like, we got to be honest about that part of it. But I think when you have options, and you don't have to suffer the foolishness of what the average dick has to suffer. Do I have to put up with the type of shit that Harley Wee Wax garbage collector has to put up with? Absolutely not. But Harley Wee Wax garbage collector can't snap his fingers and change somebody's life with a phone call. Right. Feel like that, you know what I'm saying? Right. Fair trade ain't no robbery.
Very true. So a lot of times I challenge couples and people in general to be able to answer that question as far as what they bring to the table. So if you take away the money and you take away the sex, then what is the one thing that you bring that absolutely no other man or woman can bring to the table? And I feel like if once people can answer that question, either for themselves or their partner, then they can move forward. I feel like when you're misguided or when your judgment is clouded by the sexual aspect or by the money, you never really reach who the real person is.
Did you want me to answer that?
Come on, we can make it a question. I was making a statement. Come on. Yes.
Okay. What do I bring to the table? You take away the money.
Take away the money.
And you take away the sex.
What do you bring that no other man can bring to the table?
One of the greatest analytical minds of all time, one of the most successful Black entrepreneurs in history in the shortest amount of time. In 4 years, I went from nothing to some things. I can look at your situation and tell you within 5 minutes what you need to do to get the 6, 7, and 8 figures off the top of my head. So even if you strip my money away, I'm just going to make it back. I never panic over money. I have had experiences that if you didn't know me in whatever particular period of life, you would believe that somebody was bullshitting you. But the shit's documented. I have done a lot. So I'm not starting from zero with no money. I'm starting with a shit ton of experience, about 3 decades worth. And I'm only 43. So for me, dealing with me is dealing with a different type of person. I know who I am. I know what's wrong with me. I know what's right with me. And I'm not trying to fix the things that are wrong with me. I hire people for that. I am focused on being the very best version of myself, and y'all make adjustments. See, in my world, and I can't speak for anybody, I can't speak for any of my peers, but in my world, I make decisions. You make the adjustments because I'm calling the shots. Because me calling the shots is what gets this popping. That's it. You can't go out and when I say this, I'm not trying to be disrespectful and I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm being very factual. If we were to put numbers on the table and just talk about what it really is, you can't go out right now, T. Gray, open up your door in the greater DMV area, take a stick, throw it, and hit a Dave Anderson.
You cannot.
And that's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
No problem.
Listen, you're very welcome. I mean, I think a lot of times people don't know what it is to know who you are and be comfortable with it.
Yes.
You know, like, what are you gonna say about me? He's fat. I'll take your bitch. That's it. Like, okay, once you get past that, like, I swear to God, the day I lose weight, I'm never wearing another shirt.
Ever.
Because you ain't going to be able to. What are you going to say at that point? What are you going to say? And that's the thing. Like, we're so busy trying to be what we think other people's expectations of us are. We never find out who we are. You know, there's no saying there's 2 days that matter in a man's life. The day he's born and the day he finds out why. And when you find out why, it's not about what you do. It's about who you're meant to be. And once you operate in that purpose, everything else becomes child's play. But we don't do that because we're trying to impress some female, or we're trying to make mama happy, or we're trying to make, well, my daddy does this and I'm trying to be there for the kids. And hell with all that. I love being me. You better, if you like it, great. If you hate it, sorry for you. Learn to love it, because this is what's happening around here. And when you come with that energy, people aren't used to it because they're used to the fake. And I don't know how to do that.
Do you think that there is a lack of loving oneself or security when people have to go the route of leading with the sex or the money? Do you think that that's a surefire sign that they're not securing themselves?
It's a surefire sign that they don't know who they are, because they're trying to fulfill requirements instead of fulfilling themselves. So if somebody is trying to fulfill a requirement versus trying to fulfill themselves, they can never get in touch with themselves, because they're lily pad and they're hopping from place to place and thing to thing and requirement to requirement or hoop to hoop. And so that is what leads people to be jacked up in the game. And me personally, I feel sad for those people, especially if they never find out, who they could be. Jay-Z said everybody's got genius level talent. It's just that you got to figure out what that is. And once you unlock that thing, it's over with. And I think that's what we're all missing, regardless of gender, regardless of socioeconomic background. I think we have not gotten in touch with who we're meant to be, because we're so busy being told, I feel so sorry for women in American society specifically, because from day one, you know what they do to y'all? They give y'all kitchens to play with. They give you doll babies to raise. Why the hell are you giving a 4-year-old a baby doll? Unacceptable. Then they hit you with a bunch of Disney fairy tales that get, whitewashed and homogenized and Disney-fied. And in each and every one of them, you could be laying there minding your damn business. Somebody come along and wouldn't kiss you and live happily ever after. That's not how any of this works. And notice, here's the gag that nobody ever breaks down. So I'm about to give y'all some game that y'all have never heard anywhere else.
Free game alert.
You better know freegamealert.com. Go get that. Yes. All right. So listen, here it is. Notice there aren't any queens in Disney except for the Wicked Queen and the Queen of Sleeping Beauty. Other than that, you don't see any queens. Everything about Disney when it comes to girls is focused on the princesses. You want to know why? Because princesses have no responsibility.
Talk about it.
So if you don't have any responsibility and you get to be royal and you can walk around here, do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, sleep with whomever you want, do whatever you'd like to do whenever, what do you have to be accountable for or to whom? So if you're told that all you are is a Disney princess, see, being a queen is a different role. Look at the chessboard. The queen's job is to protect the king, right? And the queen can move like any piece on that board. The king can only move one piece, one place at a time. The queen can go up and down. She can move like a bishop. She can move like a rook. She can move like a knight. She's the most dangerous piece on the board. You take off the queen, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose that game. See, we talk about how the man is the head, but we don't talk about the fact that if the man is the king head, then the wife is the queen neck, and the neck tells the head where to move. Mm-hmm. So if you're never taught to step into your queendom, you're going to run around here for the rest of your life thinking you're a princess and can't figure out why nobody takes you seriously.
Well, there it is. There you have it, folks. There you have it. So if you did not get that, watch this again. Watch it 3 times. Watch it with your friends. Make sure you have a firm understanding, especially if you have daughters, what you're instilling into them, and versus which the imagery that they see is instilling into them. It makes such a big difference in your child's perception of themselves, even once we become women, and our perception of ourselves, because we do have that mindset a lot of times still as a child of what we grew up, what we saw, and what we think is the norm, when a lot of these things that we expose them to, we allow them to see that's not the norm. So it's definitely a challenge, you guys, to shape and shift what they're seeing. So on this show, I very rarely, but I would love to get your answer to this. Very rarely do I ask anymore. It used to be one of my staple questions. What's most important to you about sex?
That's a good question. What's most important to me about sex is the intimacy. I feel like if you're being honest with yourself, it is the most vulnerable state you could ever be in. Mm-hmm. You're naked, you're unarmed, you're completely helpless. The blood is coming from your brain and your feet, so you can't think and you can't run. So whomever you choose to lay down with, like, there has to be some type of connection there. You shouldn't just be, and I know, listen, I know a lot of people out here sport fucking, and I mean, congratulations, do what you need to do there, Bass Pro Shop, but I feel like the intimacy is important. I think the intimacy fuels everything else. You know, if I can connect with you, if I can look in your eyes, if I can make you feel my presence, if I'm present in the moment, I'm not just going through the motions, and those are 2 different things. You know, I know people put on a Fitbit when they're fucking just to see how many calories they burnt. You see what I'm saying? Like, the intimacy is the most important thing about sex, because it's the thing that makes sex phenomenal. Regardless if you're making love or not, there's a difference between making love and intimacy. That's a completely different thing. So, but you can't make love without intimacy.
Tell me what the difference is between intimacy and making love.
You can be intimate with someone and not necessarily be making love to them. You know, like, I feel like there's a soul exchange when you make love. There is a different type of vibe that's, you know, that's candlelight and hot oil and, you know, whispering affirmations while you're knee deep in it, you know, to that person, versus, you know, looking them in the eyes and giving it to them and being present for those moments. It's a subtle difference, but it's a difference nonetheless. It's like the thin line between love and hate. There's a difference and a thin line between making love and having intimacy while you're having sex.
All right. So we're going to make this my last question. If you had to give your best piece of sex advice, and we're going to give this to certain type of people. We're talking to the people who do lead with the sex. We're talking to the people who do lead with the money and who don't have a firm understanding of the separation of the two, and or have that firm understanding of themselves to then be able to lead with who they really are. What would be your best sex advice?
pay attention to your breath. When you're having sex, stupid. When you're having sex, right? I'm talking about your breathing, not your halitosis, right? If you can, because when you're getting down, like it don't matter about how much money you make, you know, it doesn't matter how good your body is. It's about, are you able to connect and communicate without using your words, without using your uh, assets versus using what God gave you in nature. You know, it's one of the very few ways that we are still animal,
Mhm.
you know, and animalistic in our nature. So I think if you pay attention to your breathing, if you focus on being present in the moment, and you focus on bringing the other person a level of comfort, security, and satisfaction, you'll get absolutely everything you want. There's a very famous man who said, you know, the more people you help get what they want, the more you get what you want. I say, the more you help your woman get off, the more you get off. And
Right.
that's just me, though. What do I know?
That's very true, though. Like definitely a motivating tool. Definitely. I know if I get mine, I feel well. I'm a challenge type person, so if I know you've brought me to a certain level of pleasure, now my challenge is to exceed that for you. So I definitely get that part.
Word. Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
This has been the most interesting conversation I've had in quite some time.
Oh well, I'm glad. I'm glad you having a good time.
I'm having a great time, T. Gray. I'm loving this.
It is fantastic, you guys. It is Tip Jar Tuesday here on Sex Talk with T. Gray. I have Dave Anderson in the building, the business bully, Mr. Free Game Alert himself. So let's talk about you. Let's talk
All
about
right.
you. I want to make sure that the audience knows every way that they can find you. And then what is it exactly that you do? How can you build them and turn them into six-figure niggas out here?
Oh, God. That's a lot. What is it that I do? I'm a business coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own 12 businesses on 6 continents. I enjoy helping people grow and do the things necessary to get to the next level. Here's the problem. A lot of people who look for guidance look for someone to do it for them. I am not blue, nor do I live in a lamp. You cannot rub on me and get 3 wishes. I'm not a genie. This requires work. If I have to do all the work to help you build your business and you're not doing shit, then I might as well just work for you. I might as well just work for you full time and you just pay me $30,000 a month. Do you understand? Like, I think that we have to start looking at what we have that's unique. I ask my clients to make sure that they understand the big 3 questions. Who are you? What do you have? Why should I care? If you can't answer those questions, you're already lost. And so I tell people all the time, the best thing that they can do is be very clear, which is why we do a lot of foundational work, a lot of onboarding work with my clients. And if you go to freegamealert.com, we talk about that. You know, we have companies that are doing well in credit repair. We've got companies doing well in e-commerce. We've got brick and mortar locations. There's pretty much not a business I can't grow or fix, except for multi-level marketing, because I don't really believe in it. I think it's one of the biggest hindrances in the Black community is keeping us from wealth. You know, but other than that, man, we rock and roll. You can always find me on Instagram at the Business Bully, and every last thing you could ever want, any way to contact me, is in my bio on Instagram. So make sure you head over there and brace yourself, because I'm not for the faint of heart. I talk a lot of really, really real raw shit. So if this ain't what, like, this is mild. This is me at a 6. Like on IG, I'm at a 10. So, you know, come through if you're so brave.
So, one, thank you so much for hopping on with me tonight. I absolutely appreciate it. You guys, with T Gray, you never know who may be coming through the door. And a lot of times for me, I never know who I'm around. I hop in on live sometimes. Me and Rodney Perry are super cool. So I'll hop in on his live just to shoot the shit sometimes. And you never know who's in there. And so that's how I met Dave. And I, at that time, was in such awe of you. We were talking, we had started on one thing, you guys, and then we ended up in political talk. And just the transition in the conversation and the knowledge that you were dropping, I'm like, yo, I got to see what this brother's about. I got to see what this brother's doing. Didn't know, had no idea who you were, what you did, and how amazing you were. And then I got to researching.
Sorry.
And I got, no problem. Got to reading and got to really understanding. And I'm still in awe. Your story is one that I think should be shared just across every platform. I feel like there are so many people that need to hear your story that could be absolutely inspired. Some people who were in the situation that you were, and then how you've grown, like you said, in just 4 years. Some people think that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, that they can't buckle down and build, that they can't then turn, whatever's in their account now into something amazing. And here you have this way. And you give so much game. You guys, if you just hop in his live, you're going to walk away and learn something. I don't care what the conversation could start to be. You walked away and you have learned. I swear to God, every time you talk, I've learned something. Every time. And there's not a lot of people that are like that. Just like you said, you're not going to open up this door and throw a stick and hit a Dave Anderson. That's the truth. So you guys who are watching, who don't know who the business bully is, who aren't familiar with Free Game Alert, who are eager to build your businesses and not and aren't afraid to really say, hey, one, that you need help, or two, that you don't understand, or three, that I'm willing to put in the work if you guide me. You know what I mean? This is the guy that's going to help to take you to that next level. Okay, now it's not free. Don't you black folks out there start thinking that. But but this is somebody that can do that can get that done. And not all the time do we see melanin magic work in that way, especially when it comes to finances. There's not always a trusted face when it comes to finances and when it comes to leading Black business and really helping people to grow. So you guys, make sure you hop on it. Make sure you have your pen and paper ready, okay? Because he's going to drop some gems, and make sure that you're ready, because he can definitely take you to the next level. What better person to follow if you must follow in some footsteps? Why not Dave Anderson? So I'm glad you came on. I've enjoyed this conversation, you guys. It's been so much fun. You all make sure that you are right here again next Tuesday live. I have another fantastic guest going to be in the building, you guys. All month we're having fun on here. Got dope comedians, more dope entertainers. It's going to be a ball. I will be right back here next Tuesday at 9 p.m. on WEMS Radio. And you all make sure that you definitely follow me at the love below _ sex talk with T Gray. And if you want to get some merch, if you want to hop in and get some sex advice, definitely hit up my website, www.sextalkwithtgray.com, and you can get you some merch. You can see what your girl has going on, and you can definitely hit me up for sex advice. And that's it for Tip Jar Tuesday. I'll be collecting my tips, you guys, at the end, because I hope y'all was the whole show. I hope y'all just get to me the whole show. So I'm going to be collecting my papers. I'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye-bye.